Hi, Eric Coates, Artistic Director of GCTC. Welcome to GCTC TV. Today, as always, our technical support is provided by our Communications Manager, Jared Davidson. Everyone wave to Jared in the home studio. Today, I'm going to be talking with a very special guest, Saeideh Rajabzadeh. She is a singer, she is a choral conductor, she's a student at University of Ottawa, and it's my very great pleasure to say, welcome, Saeideh.
Thanks very much. I'm thrilled to be here and to chat with you.
Yeah, this is great. Can you tell us a little bit about you, about where you came from, how you came to be in Canada, etc.?
Absolutely, yes. I'm originally from Iran and I immigrated to Canada about 8 years ago. So I've been calling Ottawa home since then. And you know, my family is not musical, and back home we mainly just listen to traditional Iranian music. But when I was there, I took piano lessons, so I was introduced to classical music in that sense. But then I came to Canada, I studied voice, so my love for classical music grew from there. And particularly about my thesis, so I'm finishing up my master's in musicology, which is the research academic side of music. And I'm working on Samuel Coleridge-Taylor's 6 Sorrow Songs, Opus 57. It's a song cycle written for voice and piano. And particularly, I'm working on cross-genre relations and borrowings from slave songs and Western art music in this song cycle. So he was a biracial British composer. He picked some poems of Christina Rossetti, who is a religious white female poet. He set them to music, collected them, and called them sorrow songs.
So, I just want to connect the dots. A young Iranian classically trained singer moves to Canada, becomes fascinated by Victorian poetry, so back across the pond, and that poetry is then attached to a biracial composer from the same era who is writing about the situation of that was evolving in the American South.
Yes, he's responding to basically historical events around him, and he was politically very active.
Wow! So this is a spectacular collision of a whole bunch of different ideas, and I want to switch topics a bit and talk about the work you're doing with choirs right now. You're leading several choirs, and tell me how that's working out, because obviously it all has to be physically distanced.
Yes.
Describe for me the process that you're taking to bring all these people together.
So from the very first lockdown, we knew that we have to come up with something completely new. So we were brainstorming in terms of how to run online rehearsals, what would be an easy, accessible ways for all of us to connect and really be able to continue to learn and have a sense of, community and still make beautiful music. So we decided on online rehearsals through Zoom, and Zoom it has latency issues, but it's the most accessible one basically. Everybody gets into the same call if you're from the same voice type. So all the sopranos get into one rehearsal, all the altos get into one rehearsal. And they're all muted because latency issues doesn't allow all of us to sing together. I sit at my piano, I play, we all learn the music together, we repeat enough times that they're comfortable with the music.
So it sounds to me like you're actually capturing everybody individually and then editing the whole thing together. What I'm interested in is knowing if there's people out there who might want to participate in this in a non-liturgical way. Like if GCTC were to create access for people to join a community choir, contingent upon donating enough to support the work of the choir director, would people grab onto this idea? What would that look like to you if you were pitching the idea to me as a potential singer?
Absolutely. So the most important thing is that I would like to get to know every participant. I would like to know about their musical background, and if there is no musical background, that's absolutely okay. There is so much music out there for all different levels and all kinds of interests and about all kinds of different topics that we have a lot of options to be able to pick which songs we want to go from, the level of difficulty, the themes and everything. After we pick that, then I would be able to arrange weekly rehearsals once per week to go over the music, answer all questions, and give really concrete feedback. and guidelines in terms of how to practice at home on your own in order to really improve musically, in terms of vocal technique, in terms of everything. And then they would be able to record themselves separately. One wonderful technician would put everything together, so in a way we will be recreating the music.
So I wouldn't, if I'm not a terribly confident singer, and I'm not, but I wouldn't have to worry about being broadcast singing solo,
No.
or even in the context of a group practice. You would have me muted so the other singers wouldn't be able to hear me until we've all been edited together.
Yes, so at the rehearsal everybody's muted. The only person that hears you is you. So you can always, try everything out. Nobody hears you, but obviously I'm here to, answer questions. And if anybody wants to sing a line or two for me, I'm always open. But at the end, when it's all coming together, it's exactly like a choir. All the voices will be blended. There is no idea of solo or sticking out. So everybody's voices will be blended together.
And because I tend to do things in kind of a spontaneous way, I'm thinking this thought is just occurring to me now that I would like to invite anybody who's interested in this idea to keep an eye on GCTC's social media and on our website. And I think what would work best, Saeideh, is if you and I were to convene a group online discussion with people who might be interested. Does that appeal to you?
That sounds great. Yeah, that would be a wonderful opportunity also for them to just ask questions, because if it's a new process to them, as long as I explain, everything will come together and it'll make sense.
Okay. So in fact, through the miracle of technology, I am betting that by the time this video, which is not happening live, I'm betting by the time we have it released out there onto the interwebs, Jared will have scrolled all this information in text across the bottom of the screen, and people will know when to come back for a live meeting with the two of us. I just want to wrap it up by thanking you again, but going back to your studies, what is your thesis going to look like in the end? Is there a performance component that will tie it all up in the end?
Yes, so what I'm hoping to do would be to obviously defend my thesis for my degree, but on top of that to have a lecture recital where I can summarize my research over the past 2 years and really talk about this composer and how influential he was. And I'm also planning to record the entire cycle because there's so few recordings of it available, and we have one complete recording of the entire cycle and the other ones are just one here and there. So there is this tremendous need for his music to be heard.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's interested in the Sorrow Songs, a cycle by Samuel Coleridge-Taylor, based on the poetry of Christina Rossetti, performed by Saeideh Rajabzadeh. Just keep your eye on our website and our social media. We'll try and keep you up to date. Saeideh, thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to get to know you. And
thank you very much.
I can't wait until these meetings can happen in person. And
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to the possibility that we can convene a community meeting and see what sort of interest there is out there for a choir that really meets the needs of people who could use a little break from isolation.
Yes, exactly. Me too. That sounds like a good idea.
Good. Okay. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.
Thank you.